Kind of interesting mixed charm plus tarot reading. I did one earlier today over on Instagram, and I kind of just really enjoyed the experience of, doing a mixed reading like I've done before in the past. So today we're going to do some charms, and yeah, we'll see what we get. I gotta check my audio really quick, make sure my audio is good. Hopefully everybody can hear me when they get in to the chat. I'm going to be also potentially reading from this book and flipping to a random page. I'm also going to be looking at my bridge deck and potentially also my Andromeda deck. So lots to do today. The first thing that I want to do is actually I think I want to pull from my bridge deck. So I'm just going to kind of lay out a spread and see what we get for the for this deck. And while I do that, I'm going to be kind of going through my spiel and talking about like what's going on. So for those of you who don't know, I am still offering private readings. I was planning to offer them through the 15th and then have a wait list to see if people wanted to do readings past that point. I do have time tomorrow if somebody wanted to jump on it for tomorrow. I think I'm going to take a little breather from recording tomorrow, but I always say that and then I don't. So I do have some time, a little time tomorrow. If you want to jump, you would need to send a payment today for a reading tomorrow. And still am pretty SOL for my housing situation. So don't know what's going to happen for my rent for June. Therefore, don't know really what's going on for my housing. So if anybody wants to donate, this is a great time to do it. You can donate using any of the links in the description box. Should be posted tomorrow morning, but you can check out the link to PayPal on my website, oracledaphne.com. You can also send it through Venmo, which is at Oracle Daphne, or Cash App, which is $Oracle Daphne. Okay, so let's start our reading. Interesting. Okay, so the outcome for this spread is the bridge. The bridge is a metaphor for so many things, and it's one of my favorite cards from the book. It's about taking a step forward. In some ways, it's about healing. It's about connecting relationships or connecting to other people. I feel like collectively, everybody has been kind of really reworking their relationships as far as their friendships and their romantic relationships, because the Pluto has been in the sign of Capricorn. It was in the sign of Capricorn, and it's going back, I think, tomorrow for a little bit in the sign of Capricorn. And to me, Capricorn is the least relationship focused sign out of all of the signs. From my experience and from what I understand, it is a very driven sign, and doesn't necessarily mean. I mean, I've known Capricorn people to have like 10 children. I also know Capricorn people to never get married. So there's like all different kinds of people, no matter what sign they are. But Pluto and Capricorn really, to me, like, it's just transforming. It's all about the focus on career and who you are in the world and in your career. So like, and structures and like all and all that stuff and stability. And so I think relationships is part of that. But to me, it's just like talking to a Capricorn about their relationship. Capricorns can go for long periods of time without even being interested in having a relationship, whereas Libra can't. Or an Aries can't. They have to have a relationship. Sagittarius cannot go, or Gemini cannot go without a long period of time without relationships. So to me, it's like the Capricorn can. So I feel like the last 14 years has really been about, figuring out and restructuring relationships. And the North Node going into Aries, South Node going into Libra, it's really going to be pushing people to really think about, okay, what's going on with their relationships and what do they want in relationships, and reconnecting with people again in a way that kind of may feel like past energy. past energy, because like I think before 2008, people's view of relationships was different. Pre-pandemic, our view of relationships was different. Regardless of who you are in the world, there's so many other things were happening during those time periods that I feel like um, just everybody's been kind of going through this restructuring. So you might find yourself really thinking about relationships in a different way, wanting to connect with people more, um, finding it maybe perhaps a little bit easier to connect with people, finding it perhaps a little bit easier um, to formulate romantic relationships, whereas like the last 14 years might have been very challenging. I feel like it's been a challenging time all around, regardless of where anybody is as far as their relationships. So I feel like this is going to be an interesting time period for people in relationships, because the bridge is all about relationships. But the thing about this book, The Bridge to Terabithia, in the book, he goes through something traumatic. Okay, so he loses someone. He loses like the other main character. And the thing is that he learns from that experience, and he ends up building the bridge himself. And in some way that was like a metaphor for him healing. So I feel like whatever it is that you're going to need to heal yourself, you're going to be taking steps to do that. Some of you be taking new and different kinds of supplements, or starting a new workout routine, or maybe for some, love is the best medicine and getting into a healthy partnership. Whatever it is that you need to heal yourself, like to me this is taking action steps. Also, building a bridge is very action related. It's very much like, okay, I'm going to do this now, I'm going to get these parts and I'm going to put this together. So to me it has a lot to do with like, and it's a metaphor. So you could be taking action steps to fix something in your life regarding, maybe it's your health, maybe it's your mental health, maybe it's a relationship that you have to another person, fixing a relationship, working on maybe communication issues, or working on your sex life, or maybe working on different aspects of your own life, and saying, I'm going to really work on letting go of some of the things that I maybe have been holding on to from the past. I feel like that's going to be a key for those of you who are, I don't know, like wanting to take a step forward. To me, this is good, healthy, taking steps forward. And it's also for some, this is kind of like a leap of faith in some way. Because to me, the bridge is a metaphor for also transition, for the gray area, for like being in between two things. Okay, so let's just say you're trying to get from, okay, so this is how I'm going to look at it right here. So we have point A, this is point A, and this is point B, okay? And this is the transition, this is the bridge between the two. So like you're trying to go from here to here, but you're not here yet. And you're kind of getting over, and you're kind of being done with this energy here, and you're going to point B, but you're not there quite yet. So to me, it's transition times can kind of suck because things are really kind of not nailed down. You have to really work hard at nailing things down. And when I say nail things down, it's kind of my way of saying solidifying, let's just say housing, or solidifying, let's just say a lease for a car, or let's just say solidifying, like you call and you make a payment arrangement, and getting through, and you're saying, I kind of need to set up a payment arrangement for my electric. That's like nailing it down and being like, okay, we're going to set this in such a way and do such a way, and really nailing it down. Setting up direct deposit. It can be simple things that are like, that might appear to be kind of easy, but nailing things down is going to be something that you're going to be focused on or working on. Doesn't have to be bad. It just can mean like you're either working to nail things down or make things a little bit more streamlined in some way. You're simplifying, or this is something that's going to be a focus where maybe it hasn't been, and things have kind of slid by you a little bit, or just not been at the forefront of your mind. Okay. There's so much coming to me about this. Anytime there's a Okay, so we have Saturn in the sign of Pisces. Okay, there's something with structure. It's like a earth and water, and this came up in my Instagram reading today actually as well. So I feel like this energy is very part of the collective right now, where it's like if we have any kind of earth and water, that makes mud. Okay, makes it very challenging to really nail something down, do something solid when everything is gone to mud. And I actually use the word mud in my reading, but it was for a different concept. But I feel like this in this reading, it's similar where Saturn is in Pisces, so nailing something down, getting some like a concrete offer, solidifying things for whatever it is that you're doing may be a little bit challenging at this time, or it's just something that you have to work on harder um, to really get it locked in. That's what I want to say. Things can really slip and slide. Um, and the same thing with relationships. Like if you're really like, let's just say hypothetically, you're really wanting a long-term relationship. It could be really challenging at this time to nail that down. Let's just say you're not wanting a relationship, hypothetically. That also could be challenging for some of you because you might have somebody who really does want a relationship and isn't willing to let it go, like similar kind of themes. I feel like in the collective with regards to trying to work on relationships, rework relationships, putting effort into to build something, to take a step forward. I do feel like there has been a lot of discussion, and I even on my channel before during the pandemic of what we've talked about as paused energy or feeling paused, feeling like you can't move forward, feeling like things are stuck or things are stagnant. Um, I feel like, this is something where um, I feel like people are going to be addressing this more because I just feel like it's kind of like a domino effect of energies that's kind of built up in some way, and it needs to kind of go somewhere. I feel like this can come out of feeling stuck or paused. Specifically, the word pause is coming to my mind. So it's like you feel paused, meaning maybe you can't go, like you're applying to school or applying for some kind of job. It's like you can't quite, for whatever reason, do it because of something else that's coming up in your life or something else that's happening in your life. My guides keep trying to remind me that we have the North Node in Taurus until mid-July. And Taurus to me is a sign about being benched. It's like the universe's way of saying it's time for you to take a little bit of a break. You've been running all over the place and you're not taking care of your body and you're all over and you're kind of an emotional wreck and you've been doing too much and going here and there and getting all involved in all kinds of crazy, and it's time for you to like be benched. And so for the last 2 years, Taurus, the North Node's in Taurus, and it's like everybody's benched, okay? Everybody's been benched in some way, in some aspect of their life. Yeah, now, however whatever house Taurus is for you, that's where you're benched. So second house might be like financial. Third house might be with friends, with hanging out with your social life. Fourth house might be housing situations similar to mine. Fourth house stuff. Fifth house might be like a delay in like getting pregnant or having children. Sixth house might be feeling really paused on your health, like you're working really really hard to take care of your health, but for whatever reason you keep having issues with your health even though you're working really hard at it. Okay. Seventh house would be relationships, long-term relationships. So just figure out where Taurus is. If Taurus has been hitting your seventh house for the last 2 years, then you're going to have felt pause in relationships. Let's see, eighth house. To me, it has a transformative element. So I would say that the eighth house, for some of you, you might actually have had like this flip-flop thing happen where it's like you feel paused and then you're flying, and then you're paused and then you're flying. So it's like a lot of highs and lows and just like not even sure what the hell is going on if Taurus has been in your eighth house. Um, and it might have brought out a lot of shadow aspects, a lot of a lot of work on like yourself and needing to work on yourself and needing to figure out who you are. Now, all of this in the collect is in the collective. So we in some way we all are going through all of this. Okay. Some of us more so than others in different areas. So like for me, it's been housing for 2 years. But also for some, you know what I mean? There's been other aspects of my life where I felt paused as well. So some of you may resonate with like the collective energies, or you may resonate with wherever Taurus is for you during this period of time. Ninth house might have been like a delay in school, like, anybody who's trying to go to school, like people that, especially here in the States, were really behind as far as, schooling and education, and like could have even like affected their kids, schooling and education. So it's like, depending on how old you are and if you have kids, like everybody was affected by that. Like essentially everybody was held back. Okay, because of for the last 2 years. Okay, so because of North Node and Taurus. Let's see, 10th house is careers. Some of you, job stuff. I know that a lot of people have had like, a lot of stuff going on with jobs, career issues, career changes. There's been massive layoffs, all kinds of stuff that's, so if your 10th house has been really affected by the North Node and Taurus, or if Taurus is in your 10th house, or even like, let's just say Taurus is in your fourth and your 10th, or your 10th, you could both have housing issues and job issues. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so 11th house. 11th house is like help from other people. So for some of you, and you might have felt that. Issues receiving help from other people, issues of people being kind, caring, giving, where maybe people gave you gifts in the past, maybe not getting as much, not really receiving as much. To me, that's all 11th house. And then the 12th house is, is the lack of sleep. And I can't even tell you that for the last 2 years, well, it's probably been a lot longer. I think, since Pluto went into Capricorn, I've had personally a lot of sleep issues, a lot of sleep interruptions. Places that I've lived been really crazy. So for some of you, that's a similar thing where it's like maybe, you've had sleep issues, especially if Taurus was in your 12th house. Okay. So, yeah, I think they're pretty much mentioned, of course. And if you have Taurus in your first house, I feel like you're a Taurus, or, you could have like Sun or Moon in Taurus. You're probably going to have felt it very strongly and felt very paused, very, very paused, or at the same time, very much, given the green light to go ahead on things that maybe were paused in the past. So I feel like anytime the North Node's in, your sun sign, moon sign, or ascendant, I feel like that's like the green light that's giving you the green light, the push from the universe, like the wind, the sails, the wind in your sails to kind of go and do things. And to not really have any blockages, so, but at the same time, there might have been blockages just because it's sort of like actually could be like a double blockage if there was any blockage at all. Depending on your situation and other, the other planets in your chart, you have to look at the chart. So that's pretty much running through the North Node in Taurus for pretty much everybody. And I feel like all of these, like we are all affected by each other. So all of these things that I'm saying, how feeling paused in certain areas, I feel like for some of us, like we're feeling every pause in all of these areas. For others, it's going to be like for me, like the job and the housing, just different things have come up for the North Node in Taurus. So this is very interesting. So we have this bridge energy, and I want to see what else. I don't really remember where this was, but we're gonna see. Okay, your love is lost. We have themes of belonging. We have friendship. And the sweetest bond. I do feel like there's not a clear story with these themes for my bridge deck regarding relationships or where you're at with things. It feels like for most of you, I would say if you like somebody at this time, you might have what I would say unrequited love, where you like them more than they like you, or they like you more than you like them, something like that. That's what it feels like. It feels like almost like hot and cold. And I'm not entirely sure that it's going anywhere. So, it's interesting. Like you might have actually, for some of you, decided to cut somebody off, and then changed your mind. This has come up before. This energy has come up before, so I'm not really surprised. It's very, very common for people to decide, okay, I don't want to be together, and then get back together. People get a divorce and then get married again. So it's like, so to me, it's like that contradictory kind of energy. But I also feel like for some of you, there are problems within a relationship. So it's sort of like, I feel like some of you are trying to manifest somebody back who you shouldn't actually manifest. Or you should, I feel like for some of you, you need to really actually work on letting that person go, versus trying to manifest them back. Now, can I tell you to do that? See, I was gonna pull a card to see like what was gonna happen 3 months down the road. I'm actually gonna pull out my Andromeda deck, and I'm gonna pull 10 cards to see what, like, if there's a theme for like the outcome, like that's a continuity that's gonna show some continuity or make more sense. And then I'm gonna pull one card for like where it's gonna be 3 months from now if there's a relationship. Yeah. Okay. So we have themes of war and peace. So like the outcome for the other one was the bridge. And this is kind of like when somebody really functions in a kind of agreement type way. They see things in a kind of black and white way. This can also be very positive if you're looking for a marriage proposal, or you're looking to get into a relationship and somebody is like, they ask you out, they offer, like I said, they make you some kind of offer where they say, I want to move in together, or I want to be with you, and it's kind of like a declaration. But this is typically very movie type stuff where somebody declares their affection or declares their love. It's very like Sense and Sensibility, like 1800s. It's very Piscean, like, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I know that there's, a lot of guys out there that go big when it comes to like marriage proposals. So I know that it happens. I've watched a lot of YouTube where, people are in Italy and they're getting proposed to on the beach or on some kind of romantic patio where they're having a beautiful Italian dinner. So, like, I know that this can happen. But as far as continuity with the outcome of the bridge, it still doesn't really make too much sense, because it's kind of like this energy of the bridge energy is kind of like not rebuilding, because that's another card altogether. It's kind of an energy of connection, like of having a connection. And this War and Peace theme is more of like a contract, an agreement. So it doesn't really fully make total sense to me. Like it feels like more like this is what you're hoping for or this is what you're wanting, but it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm having an influx of people come in, and I don't know where these people are going or where they're coming from. Just so you guys know, I'm going to have to maybe end this here if it gets too loud. There's like an influx of all these people that coming into the complex. So right now. So I wanted to pull a card though from my Andromeda deck to see where we got one card here for where it's going to be 3 months from now, and where it's going to be, a relationship's going to be 3 months from now is we have love as an illusion, which is something naturally ending. And then we have love as trust, which is about either building a bond with somebody, having a very strong, like trusting somebody a lot, or people being dishonest, people breaking a trust, trust being broken. Together, this tells me that whatever you think is solid in a relationship right now is not. Whatever you think is going somewhere in a relationship right now is not. It tells me in time, 3 months down the line, you will come to see that the relationship is actually quite flimsy. I want to say the word flimsy. And it'll be more transparent. And actually weird, there's this, for those of you who do any kind of foraging, there's this mushroom that I'm seeing, which is a transparent mushroom. And this is going to sound so strange, but I'm seeing like the ghost pipe mushroom, which is transparent, it's translucent. And I don't know why that's coming through. It sounds so weird, but like my guides are showing me that's the energy. Whatever illusion or like spell you're under as far as a relationship, you're going to see it really clearly. Because to me it's like the ghost pipe mushroom is literally translucent. It's like you can see straight through it. And the thing is, it's sort of like even to like the daffodil, let's just say, like if you were to hold up a daffodil into the light, you're going to see through it. It's the sun's going to come through it. It's clear. It's going to become clear to you. Right now, it might not be so clear where the relationship's going or if the relationship's going anywhere. In my opinion, I don't necessarily feel like for most of you, there is a relationship. I'm not 100%. I would say, like, if there is one, if you have a relationship, you're already in that relationship and you're kind of working on, I don't know, doing what people do when they're in relationships that kind of like they have to. Like it's because they have to, because maybe they have a family, or maybe because you're trying to provide for the children, or because it doesn't necessarily feel the best to me from when I'm looking at it right now. It feels like you're checking a lot of boxes of things that you have to do. And it's not really clear where the relationship's going. And for some of you, you're gonna need to work on your trust, because I feel like someone may end up breaking your trust because they can. Because when you're in a relationship, it's very easy to break somebody else's trust. It's very easy nowadays to go outside of a relationship. It's very easy to like text somebody on your cell phone and be like, you know what, let's hook up tonight or do some whatever tonight, you know? Like it's really, really easy. And I feel like in some way that's making everybody who's in a relationship really, really vulnerable, because there's more at stake. There's more at risk. I'm going to pull some of these other Andromeda cards and see what else. So it's so weird. Okay, so I said ghosting. Okay, so it's funny. I was seeing the ghost pipe. I'm not even saying it right. Mushroom. I really wish that I could pull the image of it up here. So some of you maybe someone ghosted you and you're no longer talking to them, but you're kind of wondering, okay, like what's going to happen. I do feel like some of you are trying to manifest somebody back. We have love is manifesting here, trying to manifest somebody back. Yeah, because we have the theme of waiting as well. Sorry guys, lost my focus. Let's see. Why is my focus out? Sorry guys. Not sure. What is going on? Okay, I'm going to pull this in here and see if it focuses. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we have the theme of people as control. See, it's interesting. We have love as a twist, love in astrology, and love as the end. See, this is interesting. This is very, very fascinating. It's sort of like with love as a twist, later in time, later down the line, you might end up manifesting somebody back. Or you might, that might not be the best for you, but most likely you're going to do it anyways. Or for whatever reason, you're going to end up either staying or leaving a relationship. And it's going to be different than what you're expecting. So if you're expecting to stay, most likely you'll leave. If you're expecting to leave, there's a chance that you might end up staying in a relationship if you already have one going. So again, it's kind of a twist where it's like, it's hard to say, like, it's kind of unexpected. The twist is something unexpected. It's some kind of unexpected element. My guides are confirming this. So like for some of you, it's a person that you're going to meet that's unexpected. Or it's a relationship, an aspect to a relationship that's unexpected. So like, let's say you think a relationship is dead. It's not, okay? Let's just say hypothetically, you think that there's a relationship that could be manifested back, but it is dead. So again, it's kind of like can go both ways here with it being kind of like there's this interesting twist element. I do want to pull some charms. I'm going to run out of batteries on this phone. I didn't charge it up as much as I wanted to for this reading, but I really want to pull some charms. Interesting. What have we got here? For some of you, I feel like the saving grace of this time period is exercise. Like the key is finding something that you can do physically that's going to bring you happiness. So for some of you, like maybe it's joining a gym or starting to like go for a walk every day. For some of you, it's doing some kind of exercise, could be cycling, could be, I don't know, like, joining a frisbee club or something. I don't know like where you live, like what kind of sports and stuff is around, but like doing something physical. Oh, I just lost one. Now I have the hiccups. I'm trying in some way. I feel like I'm trying fast, and that's always bad for me because my phone is running out of batteries. So I need to breathe for a second. Okay. The good news, I feel like for some of you, is that I feel like your mood is going to shift. It's like this, just right now, the sun just came out and like it's blue sky all of a sudden where it's been like cloudy all day and like all of the trees look really, really, really green. So it's like, to me, there's like that element of brightness that might be surprising, that might come as a surprise to you. Like, I feel like you need some brightness. Like, you need something to kind of bring like more light into your life. And it's interesting, we have this charm is be the light. Some of you are meant to be a light for other people at this time, but some of you need to like do things that bring light, or just be out, like getting more vitamin D out in the sunshine, or like do things that brighten your mood. There was this whole period of time in which I was going through some really, really tough stuff, and I was not happy. And I was like, I just need to make sure that I get out every day and do at least one thing that I want to do. I have to get out every day and go someplace that brings me joy, that lights me up, that makes me feel good about life or good about myself or something. So, like, that's the challenge, you guys. Like, the challenge here is you've got to do something that turns the light on for you, that like makes you feel brighter. That like it could be as simple as getting a new face wash, or like, you know, it could be for some of you like getting a haircut, or like doing something for yourself that's nice. For others, it's more of like an activity, because we have this, to me, the leopard in this, in my charm bag, is exercise. Josie says wanting to go hiking and walking. Yeah, like that needs to happen, Josie. I mean, that's really the message here. If there's, getting outside and being active in some way, even if it's just, again, it's one activity a day, like one thing a day. There's like a couple of cute little shops where I live in town, and there's one in particular that I really like. It's this little kids shop. It has such good vibes, and I go there to recharge. And it's like something that I can go do that takes my mind off of things. Some of you just need to hit up the mall. You just go to the mall and go to store after store after store. I don't care what you do there, but got to take your mind off of stuff. To me, it's an activity. It's like something that you need to do that's like an activity. One thing a day that you want to do. One thing a day where you're exercising, where you're outside, or you're going, like I said, you're going shopping, or you're doing something that's going to bring some kind of therapy to your life, or that's going to make you happy in some way. We have this anchor at this absolute center of the reading. I actually feel like some of you, it's funny because it's actually a reflection of what I was seeing earlier, or in my other charm reading. I think it was my other charm reading where it felt like for some of you, you were on track to having this life which is very settled. Anchor is next to the mama bear charm, and the mama bear charm is about having children. It's about actually having children, and having a family. And the starfish is children. And to me, it's like for some of you, like having children is like an anchor in your life. It's grounding for you. But again, like to me, it's like them kind of all being in this. Oh no, we've got lost. There we go. Them being kind of all close like this. To me, this is where the happiness is gonna be. This is what's gonna light you up. And for some of you, like similar to the reading I did over on Instagram, like you might not even be planning on settling down and getting married and having children or any of that. But to me, this is the stuff that's going to be the most grounding for you. This is what's going to bring you the most like joy and the most happiness. Now, some of you, you may want to consider adopting. You might even want to consider adopting a pet as well. Anything that's going to light you up. But I feel like the joy is going to come from, for some of you, becoming a mother, or for some of you becoming a father, or some of you having, something to look forward to when you get home, like from work. To me, that's what it feels like. It feels like when you get home from work or home from wherever you've been, your life is not happy and you need to have that joy. And to me, it feels more like finding your joy, because that and finding your anchor. Um, it's that feeling, when you roll into the driveway that you're home somewhere. You know what I mean? That gives you that sense of peace. Some of you really need to have that. That's what I see here. Let's see if there's anything else. Some of you do need to focus more on your health and taking care of your physical body. I pulled another anchor. Some of you, the more kids you have or the more like pets you get, like to me, like you're going to be, I actually feel like this is going to sound really funny. For some of you, you might not be expecting, let's just say, to be really grounded. But you could end up having twins, or you could end up having more than one child, or you could end up having, let's just say, getting like 2 pets instead of 1 somehow. I don't know. Like to me, like there's this 2 anchors here. There's 2 anchors. So there's something about becoming more grounded than you're expecting. To me, like having more of like a foundation than you're expecting. And it's interesting. You can see all of my like these pieces that I think of like very foundational pieces came out, and they came out actually kind of below everything. So to me, this is building a foundation of some kind, having a strong foundation. That's what I see here. I think I'm going to leave off here, guys. Sorry, I just wanted to get back in focus, just to end, because my actually running low on memory. So I gotta go, but thank you guys so much for being supportive, fans and followers. Please donate if you can, and if you'd like to book a reading, please do so. You send a payment through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, and then email me to get scheduled. Appreciate your everybody commenting. Please make comments when you can, when this video is posted. It really, really helps my algorithm. All the likes really help as well. And but yeah, wish you guys all the best. I will see you guys next time, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, send everyone big hugs, big kisses. Talk to you soon, guys. Have a good day, guys.